What's going on, guys? Asian Guy here, bringing you a video covering the patch 1.5 announcements, a rundown and a breakdown sort of what's incoming, as well as a look at the two new bosses that we're going to be getting, Azhdaha, or whatever his name is, the little dragon toad thing. It's not really little, he's a chunky boy, but also the ice cube as well. Now, something that I really wanted to flex here, guys, is that magically, coincidentally, I am the 69,420th person to actually look at this page. That's right, guys. That is massive. Yes, I'm immature, but look right here. 69,420th view. If I refresh this, let's see. Is it going to change? Or was it just fixed on that? It did change. I was actually 69,420. Hey, all right. Immaturity aside, let's get into it. Now, I've already skimmed through this, so I'm going to go to the most important stuff right now. Obviously, this is the Primo Gems compensations that we get every single patch update. And that will come to you anyway. If the patch drops late, then we won't get any bonus Primo Gems. But, you know, MiHoYo has typically actually dropped the patches like 1 hour earlier than expected, so that's something interesting. Primo Gems times 300. That's whatever, basically 2 pulls. We have the new housing system, so Serenitea Pot, Teapot Spirit, Trust Rank, Adeptal Energy, Creating Realm Depot, etc, etc. All of this is a breakdown of how to do the housing system, or the key features of the housing system. You got the Teapot Spirit, the little penguin thing in the big chubby pot. Trust Rank is as you place more furnishing, increase the level of Adeptal Energy within the realm. The Teapot Spirit will become more trustful of you. So it's going to be something where you're actually going to have a progression with the housing system. A lot of people are like, yeah, I'm not interested in housing, but turns out you get rewards from doing housing system. And the other smart thing that MiHoYo's done here is that there's going to be bonus exclusives that you get from playing with friends doing the housing system. So if you go into another player's world, it doesn't have to be friends, by the way, it can be strangers, but if you do co-op or do some of the co-op features within housing system, it's basically encouraging people to play with other people, and I think that is quite a good thing. I personally enjoy playing with other people, so this is something I'm looking forward to. And the more kind of furnishings, as the word here is, or furnishings or items or furniture that you place down, the higher your rank, the more Adeptal Energy, etc, etc. As you can see here, the amount of Adeptal Energy within the realm will gradually increase along with the number of furnishings placed. So the more items you have, the better. The more things you have in your realm, the more trust you're going to have, and the more trust you have, the better items you're going to have as well. So there is going to be a new way of obtaining something called wood. Yes, guys, we're going to have wood cutting. Shout out to all my RuneScape players out there. But on top of that, you know, it's basically like Animal Crossing in Genshin Impact. Not that I've played it, I've watched it, but I do believe this is very, very similar to how Animal Crossing is. Like, for example, if you go to another player's world, you can get benefits from their world as well. And then Realm Depot, you can use realm currency in the Serenitea Pot to exchange for items of your choice. And these items include stuff like transient resin. Transient resin is basically the same thing as fragile resin, except it has an expiration date on. Fragile resin, you can hoard it and save it forever. Transient resin is basically an expiration date on fragile resin. And you might be wondering, what's the point in that? Why not just give us fragile resin? Fragile resin is obviously going to be a little bit more valuable. Transient resin, it means you can't hoard it and you can't like bum rush any new content that comes out immediately. So for example, we're getting 2 new bosses, we're getting a new domain. I want to do all of that instantly, but if I had like, let's say 100 fragile resin, I'll be able to do that over and over and over and over and over again as soon as it comes out, and it will not be able to like throttle my progression in the game, which is why transient resin has an expiration date. You can't hoard your resin like that. New characters, we're going to have end user license agreement, Eula, Cryo physical damage character. Not going to be going for Constellation 6 on her. I'll pull 1 copy and that's it, just for reviewing and for videos. We have Yanfei. Hopefully I can get her really early Constellation 0. If I don't get her before the 6th multi in the Pity Tour Zhongli, as you guys know, I already have Constellation 6 Zhongli. I'm not going to go for her, and I'll just have to give up on her. And that's going to break my heart, but it's just the way it is. She'll eventually be on another banner, and I'll just have to wait till then. But Yanfei is not a character I want to spend too much money on. I want to save money, guys. I want to be you know, I want to be responsible with my spending. Even as a content creator, it just would not make any financial sense for me to go for Yanfei if it means I have to break my 5-star pity, which is just a no bueno. Because Zhongli, if I get Zhongli early, I'm going to get nothing but 25 star glitter or stardust, whatever one it is. We're going to have a new weapon here, 5-star Claymore, which I believe is going to be physical damage and also the highest base attack in the game. Looking forward to that one. We've got 2 new artifact sets, the Tenacity of the Millilith and Pale Flame. We've already covered those already. This one is going to be a set for someone like Zhongli or support official. Pale Flame is going to be like the new best in slot for physical damage carries, and you can also just combine it with 2-piece Bloodstain, 2-piece Pale Flame for plus 50% physical damage bonus as well, which is going to be nice. We have the new domain Ridgewatch, which is where you're going to be able to get these sets from. And we have a new Trounce domain, which is going to be Beneath the Dragon Queller. And Beneath the Dragon Queller, if we go ahead and switch out of this and we go into this, we have got the new Azhdaha, the Angry Toad, which is actually a dragon. Now, this is meant to be a dragon, but I don't know about this. Dragon's about to get clapped by Amber here, and everywhere on this page it says, this page is still in development and not indicative of final quality. So these are going to be the attacks that Azhdaha has. We have one stomp here, oh no, not even a stomp, a dig, which then marks you and drops a boulder on you. Guess what? If we have Zhongli, no problem at all. We have another one where you've got a straight line of marking boulders dropping down on you, and you've got a Skyward Harp Amber there who's going to get clapped there for not that much damage, to be honest. Oh, and these boulders explode as well, but hey, guess what? If you have Zhongli, no problem again. Right, then we have the big toad going Unga Bunga and jumping on you. Oh, that is a big belly stomp, and that is a massive AoE. So you either have to iframe that by dodging with your dash, or again, if you have Zhongli, no problem at all. Next up, we have the Stompy Boy, where he stomps down. Azhdaha does a big Stompy Boy, and it vibrates, it pulses. So kind of like the Geo Boss pulsing, you can just stand out of range for that one. But if you want to continue doing DPS without worrying about taking damage and getting staggered as you see Amber doing here, well, guess what? The best character in the game, Zhongli banner, is coming. So no problem again if you own Zhongli. Right, next boss attack is going to be kind of like Nergigante from Monster Hunter World, where he's just charging in like that, and I guess he's trying to lob you into the air, but it doesn't look like he can lob you into the air. Amber here going to get staggered, but guess what? If you have Zhongli, or you have Diona, or you have Noelle, or Xinyan, or any strong shield, hey, no problem at all. No problem at all. Moving on, we have got another... Oh, that's like a Mega Stomp and firing like a beam of boulders at you. Or like an Earth Riptide. That looks like it's doing a lot of damage there. More than 5,000, 6,000 HP. Looking at these numbers, though, it's not looking promising, guys. It's not looking promising looking at these numbers. Hopefully, this boss has the potential to one-hit KO you, so people can truly appreciate the importance of shields. But once again, if you have Zhongli, no problem at all. This one, it seems to be he's digging, and while he's digging, he can hit you, and also it's just going to be raining rocks. So again, if you have Zhongli, kein problem. This is going to be a uber stomp. Oh, this is a stomp party. This must be like the final phase, where it's just, you can't go near him without taking damage. But hey, guess what? If you have Zhongli, no problem at all. Let's take a look at the Cryo Hypostasis. Cryo Hypostasis, oh, that's a big AoE. So if you want to go in there, oh, and Amber's taking damage continuously there. So if you want to go in with melee and attack the Cryo Hypostasis, perhaps you have to take damage. Hey, but guess what? If you have a shield, no problem at all. You can just go in there, walk in and hit him. That's a normal clap that you have all the Hypostasis has. This one is going to be a... Oh, icicles popping out of the ground, piercing you. That's pretty interesting again. But once again, if you have a shield, no problem at all. So this is the one where they're in the air and they're firing projectiles at you. So most of the cubes have this one already. And then this one is going to be Beyblade. Nice. Beyblade and runs off into the far distance. Okay, and you can see here that if you're worried about the frostbite or the cold, whatever it's called, the sheer cold, there is a torch thing there that can cool you down as well. So you can literally just stand by that if you're worried about sheer cold. So otherwise, very interesting mechanics for all of these bosses. Naturally, if you have Zhongli, the strongest shield in the game, or you have a really, really stacked Diona, none of this is going to be a problem for you because you're just going to be able to face tank all of this. And that's why I'm always preaching that shields are better than healers, because with healers, you're going to get staggered. You're not going to be able to do anything. If you get hit, you get hit, and you're going to be staggered. Even if you're a healer, it doesn't matter because you're going to get staggered and you're going to lose DPS. But with a shield, you don't have to worry about getting staggered. And that's why shields are absolutely bellissimo. So, moving back to the patch, we have got new trounce domains. Now here, this is very, very important, guys. This is why we will not have a Genshin Monday or a Genshin Tuesday. These story quests, or not rather these story quests, these new trounce domains, these are now only going to cost 30 resin up to 3 times. So if I can find this patch note here, it's going to be a very, very important one. I don't know how far down it is. Oh, I may have missed it. Let's take a looky over here. It's not this one. It is... Oh, this is right here. It's literally in the red text. After updating to version 1.5, there will be 3 opportunities to halve the original resin cost when claiming rewards from Trounce Blossoms and Trounce Domains and the Lupus Boreas Dominator of Wolves challenge. So please do not do your weekly bosses on Monday or Tuesday. Wait till Wednesday. Wait till Wednesday, because every single week from the foreseeable future, we are going to get 3 opportunities to do these weekly bosses for only 30 resin, and then another one in a maximum of 60. Now, if you think that's bad, think again, because originally we have 60, 60, 60 for Lupus Boreas, the Dominator of Wolves. We have the Dvalin Storm Terror, and we have Child Tartaglia boss fight. These 3 total for 180 resin. We can now do 30 resin, 30 resin, 30 resin, and 60 resin. That is 150 resin for 4 weekly bosses. So we are gaining a net gain of 1 extra trounce domain, as well as 30 resin back. And the beautiful thing about this is max cap is 160 resin, right? So you could do all of these 4 bosses in a day if you are basically capped out or you have 150 resin lying around, which I think is beautiful, because before we could only do 3 weekly bosses and you would have to use a fragile resin, or you have to do a refill in one sitting, because you wouldn't be able to do that in a day's worth of resin, which is a little bit annoying. So in one sitting, you can go ahead and actually do all of this, which I think is absolutely amazing. That is a huge, huge, huge quality of life update, and I applaud MiHoYo for doing it, even though it should have been earlier, way, way, way earlier. We're already like 6 months into the game. This should have been something we had way earlier, but this is a nice thing, because in the future, when we do get more Trounce Blossoms or Trounce Domains and new weekly bosses, the cost is going to be low. I'm sure they'll up it to, yes, you can now have 4 or 5 30 resin cost bosses, which is going to be nice. With a Cryo Hypostasis, which we just taken a look at, Ice Cube, we've got the giant frog lizard toad thing, Azhdaha, that's the enormous dragon, as ancient as the mountains themselves. We have a new elite monster, the Abyss Lecter Violet Lightning, a creature of the Abyss Order that calls upon thunder and lightning in the praise of the darkness. Now I think Abyss Lecter is going to originally be introduced only in the Spiral Abyss. However, in the future, when we get new regions, I think this is just going to be an elite monster that you can find in the open world. For example, like those massive hilly Charles, the lava Charles, the frost Charles, all of those kind of things in the open world. You've got the pseudo primo Geo Vishaps, but basically the Geo Vishaps, not the baby ones. They're elite monsters as well. Ruin Guards, Ruin Hunters are elite monsters. So Abyss Lecter, I'm pretty sure, is just going to be like one of those, like the Fatui monsters as well, elite monsters in the open world. But I'm not sure if we will have them in Mondstadt or in Liyue. But I'm pretty sure when we do get future regions, we're going to see these kind of abyss creatures everywhere, which is something I'm excited for. We have the new event, Energy Amplify Initiation. This one is going to start on the 30th, so it's not going to be available straight away from the patch. I'm not going to read over this, because this stuff I think is going to be more straightforward if you just see it in game and look at the in-game tutorial, rather than reading it here in a very, very not very well formatted layers of text. New quest, new story quest, which is going to be very exciting. Zhongli's story quest, Historia Antiqua Chapter Act 2. I'm very excited for that. I'm going to do that immediately as soon as it goes live. I want to do that and make sure I can get the new boss fight ASAP. I'm going to do that even ahead of summoning for Yamfe, so that's going to be interesting. And then we have Eula's story quest, Aphros Delos Chapter Act 1 as well, which is very interesting, because all of this means that we're going to have Act 2s, Act 3s of the reruns. When these characters get rerun banners, hopefully we're going to have multiple story quests for these characters. It's a shame that we didn't get one for Child, but it means Child, when he comes back in the future, will probably get Act 2 for his story quest as well. We have new hangout events, one for Diana and one for Noelle. So for those of you who are fans of Diana and Noelle, you can go ahead and check that out. We got a new world quest, which is a teapot to call home. So you're going to have to do this before you can get into housing stuff. And you have to be adventure rank 35 or above as well. And then you need to have completed the new Archon quest and new star approaches, new world class, a timeless classic, and when the trail goes cold as well. Other new world quests will be added at a later date as well. So this stuff is going to be for the other events. Mimi Tomo is going to be for the Hilichurl event. So you're going to have to do that to start the Hilichurl event as well. So gameplay, we have new gadgets, Serenitea Pot, new recipes, blah, 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 new furnishing, new precious items, Dream Solver, Transient Resin, Vial of Adeptal Speed, Sanctifying Unction, Sanctifying Essence. I don't know what these are, but I believe one of these, potentially Dream Solvent, will allow you to change your drops from the weekly bosses to another weekly boss drop. So for example, Sai of Dvalin or Dvalin Sai is absolutely useless to me. I have no use for it. I have no interest in having it. If I could convert that into Tartalia's boss drops, mwah, bellissimo. And I believe one of these items does that. And that's only speculation, so don't quote me on that. I believe one of the items does that, and I think that is very, very, very exciting if that is the case. New name cards, new achievements. Now this one is a big one here. Floor 11 of Spiral Abyss is going to be changing. So now, instead of draining your energy, so now I don't need to make a guide on Floor 11 too, because people don't really understand how energy recharge works. It's going to be now an even more obnoxious debuff is Slowing Water. Greatly increases your skill's cooldown duration until the inflicted hydro element is removed. So if you have characters like Bennett or Xinyan, Bennett and Xinyan can both cleanse you of these debuffs and allow your cooldown duration to go back to normal using their ultimates, or in Xinyan's case, her elemental skill, which is going to be nice. The other alternative is to just use someone like Ganyu, or just use a physical damage character like, let's take a guess, Eula, or Razor, or any other physical damage character you have is going to be the way forward to get through floor 11. Physical damage dealt by all party members, hey, guess what? Increased by 75%. So this is going to be the meta changing somewhat, which is going to be quite nice and interesting because it's going to reward people for diversifying the characters that they've built up, or giving them a little bit of different incentives to farm up different artifacts and build them a little bit differently. So Razor, for example, maybe Electro may not be for you, but if you ever wanted to, you could technically use Razor as Electro DPS or also physical DPS. Same thing with physical DPS or Electro DPS. So these kind of characters get a little bit more versatility. Kaching's another one actually. So it seems like all the Electro characters, you can use them as Electro DPS or physical DPS as well. Updates to the monster lineup on floor 11. I'm looking forward to that. Updates to the monster lineup on floor 12. Floor 12, I believe, is now going to have the Abyss Elector, which is something I'm looking forward to fighting as well. So yes, we have got other buffs for the lunar phase refreshes. You can just see these ones in game when they come up at the relevant time. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, all of these basically encouraging you to play with, for example, physical damage characters. You see physical damage there. You've got protected by a shield, so this one's for Zhongli, and then this one is going to be normal charge plunging attacks, basically your normal physical damage dealer that deal physical damage. Again, it's going to be for Eula and Razor and Kaching or Kaya, anyone that you're rocking with physical DPS as well. We've got other miscellaneous stuff here. System allows you to pin your mail. So if there's mail that you receive that you don't want to delete, for example like birthday mail, you can pin it now so it never gets deleted. I just delete all my mail anyway, so this is nothing special for me. Audio adds Japanese voiceover for certain characters. Diona's English voice actor is going to be different in the hangout event for unforeseen circumstances. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. And then you have like other optimizations as well, but the main thing is I believe they're also changing the battle pass. So yes, last part here is they're now getting rid of collect 100 Mondstadt local specialties. You don't have to do that anymore. Collect 100 Liyue local specialties. You don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to do complete the Golden House Storm Terror Wolf or the North Challenge specifically, but now it's been changed to complete Trounce Domains or the Dominator of Wolf Challenge 3 times. Because we now have 4 weekly bosses, your requirement is to only beat 3 of them. Obviously, it's recommended to go for all 4 anyway, so that's that as well. And this one is going to be all based on doing stuff in your realm. So in your housing event, obtain a total of 1,000 realm currency, create a total of 10 furnishing, and purchase 2 items from the Teapot Traveling Salesman in another player's Serenitea Pot, which is going to be interesting because this is literally telling you have to go do co-op, otherwise you're not going to be able to do your battle pass properly or efficiently. Now, this is what I mean by formatting looks bad. It looks like this is all battle pass stuff, but none of this stuff is battle pass stuff. So this is the Stellar Reunion. Stellar Reunion is basically a category of rewards that only people who haven't played for a while get when they return to the game. So all of this: forge 3 items, defeat boss, blah 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 blah, enhance a weapon, enhance an artifact. This does not apply to the battle pass. This is only for people who have the Stellar Reunion event, and again, this is only open to people who have not played for a long time and they're coming back to the game. So that is absolutely everything. Hopefully that has been insightful. Hopefully that has been helpful for you guys. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section down below. And I gotta say, I'm very excited for patch 1.5. It's a very big patch, guys, and hopefully things go smoothly, there's no bugs, and hopefully everyone has a good time. Good luck to you guys who are summoning for Zhongli. If you like me or my wife to do scammons for you, scammons are where you guys have primo gems or you have the currency in-game ready and you would like us to summon on your behalf for content for YouTube, for Twitch, then please do head on over to our Discord, which is where I will be picking out people to do scammons with. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Links to Discord will be in the description down below and the pinned comment as well. Thank you so much for watching once again and have a wonderful day. See you in patch 1.5. No Genshin Monday and Genshin Tuesday because we want to save resin, and bye bye.